The art of losing isn't hard to master, or empathy for when you try really, really hard and don't get anywhere. I was scheduled to do a taster session in empathy at a London market event. I was hugely disappointed to arrive too late to do it. This is what happened and how I acknowledged the feelings that came up without blaming or judging myself. I decided to drive as I had borrowed a car for a week and I was excited to use it to make a change from the bike and the bus. However, the traffic was terrible for a Sunday and I was caught out by some one-way streets and I just couldn't find a place to park. I also gave myself only 1 hour to get from home to the venue after dropping off my son at a friend's house. It just wasn't enough time. Here are 3 notes of empathy about the situation. And I do want to preface this by saying that in our society we are trained not to reveal feelings. We are conditioned to get over disappointments and not make a big deal about it. Men especially are targeted with this ideal. The idea being that it is more efficient and productive to suppress feelings and just get on with life. So empathy for missing the event. My feelings in this situation were, disappointment. I was also embarrassed that this could happen to me. I love being on time and being reliable. I had deep sadness at the missed opportunity to connect and talk about my work, which I love, and deep sadness at the missed opportunity to meet people and to connect with community. And then this came as well, fear, deep fear that I had missed my chance. This was a great chance to share about my work and I'd missed it. And also fear that I wouldn't be trusted again, that people wouldn't trust me to show up again. The second note of empathy is about giving up. I could have arrived late, but I felt so extremely unsettled and I hadn't even found a parking space at this point, so I gave up trying. And I noticed how easy it is for me to be harsh on myself for giving up. Even the words have a kind of contempt around them. I have a story about myself that I don't give up. And when I chose to, in this instance, harshness on myself was accompanying this. When I chose to stop trying to find a parking space at around 5 minutes after the start time for my session, I noticed the harshness hovering. Or maybe it was a kind of sinking feeling around this story that I have that giving up is bad. I noticed how hard it was to choose gentleness for myself, to not be violent on myself or to keep forcing myself. I noticed how hard it was to relax a little and to trust that everything was ultimately going to be all right. And the third note of empathy is for others, not for myself. I put myself into the shoes of others affected by this, all those at the event who had trusted me enough to say yes to my suggestion to come and share my work, and then they had a hole in their schedule. And I also put myself imaginatively into the shoes of people who showed up to participate in my session, and those for whom it would have made a real difference in their life. To experience the playful, light-hearted, yet deeply grounded exposure to empathy that I was planning. So yes, a moment to connect to everyone affected by this situation. So that's my example. And here's a task for you. Recall a recent experience, maybe one that's still alive, when you tried so hard and you didn't get anywhere. Choose one particular moment in your situation that stands out to you, or a few moments if necessary. Bring yourself back to that situation and guess some feelings and needs for yourself. You could even do this with a friend, as it's very effective to experience another person by your side empathizing with you. So, for example, in my situation, I could go to the moment that I'm in the car and I'm stuck in the traffic jam. I'm starting to feel really anxious. And if I can guess for myself, you're feeling really agitated. You're trying to breathe. You so didn't want it to be like this. There's a tension in your head and there's butterflies in your stomach. You might want to take a moment now, pause the recording and do that. And then come back to listen to a little bit of the context of why this could work for you. So the more live your situation could be, that you're still upset about it and thinking about it, the more integration of the painful experience you can have. If you've taken the opportunity right now to acknowledge the pain and the upset. Because this experience has already happened, you are actually strengthening your empathy skills doing this post-rehearsal, which is a kind of after the event rehearsal. The more you practice this after the event, the more you are creating the neural pathways for empathy in the brain, which involve keeping the prefrontal cortex connected and functioning. The job of the prefrontal cortex is to assess stimuli or input and the options you have available, and allows you to see the bigger picture. So if you can keep the prefrontal cortex connected, the limbic system doesn't take over. Or when the limbic system has already taken over, you can slowly bring the prefrontal cortex back into action. The mind takes its shape from what it repeatedly rests on. So the more you practice, the more likely you are that you can do this live in a tense and stressful situation that is unfolding. So to finish, my sense is that really connecting to and allowing the feelings arising out of a disappointing experience, you can actually get over it much quicker than if you don't. I can think of 3 or 4 experiences of utter and devastating disappointment in which I have fully connected to my feelings and needs, and I've moved beyond them without any lingering trace of the disappointment. I am deeply struck by what the poet Elizabeth Bishop wrote, "The art of losing isn't hard to master." So thanks for listening through to the end. And as all the teen YouTubers say, give me a big fat thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Bye.